We have Jude with us from Head-Fi, and we have Ethan from CanJam.
It's nice from you to being here. CanJam, I started as an enthusiast-driven project, you know?
Yes.
And at what point you realize that it's going big, it's going worldwide, and it's really a big community? Can you just tell us?
Sure. Yeah, it started in 2006, and like you said, it was community. It was actually community organized. So members of our community, and it started in New York. Our New York guys, who are kind of like our OG Head-Fiers, they organized it with a gentleman named Tyle Hertzens, who a lot of people in our community will know who he is. He's now retired. And I also was one of the sort of, I was very busy with something work related, so I was only kind of partially involved. And that was the first of what would become eventually CanJam. Yeah. So they were community organized, I think until 2010. And then we started working with Rocky Mountain Audio Fest, which isn't around anymore. And then I started working with you, with Ethan, because we were doing like Head-Fi meets in California.
Yeah, I started doing the community organized meet in Los Angeles back in 2014. I think that's when we first met in person.
Yeah, that's when we first met in person.
And I think we started talking
yeah, but the meets that he was organizing were getting bigger and bigger, and they were starting to get more formal. Companies were starting to exhibit at them, so it was already starting to take shape as something that was both community and commercial. Then eventually, I mean, you're the one who kind of came to me and said you wanted to do it full time. And so that's how we started. As far as the next part of the question where you asked, like, when did we know it was going to become international? It was probably that very nervous moment we decided to do London.
Yeah, it was 2015. Yeah. So the first CanJam of I guess kind of the new generation of CanJam was in 2015 in LA. And then we went back to London in the summer of 2015. That was the first international show.
Yeah, we were very nervous about that one because we said, we're not sure that we should be trying international. And it worked out.
It was great. I mean, Head-Fi has a huge reach all across the globe. So it just made sense. We have communities all over. And so it made sense to kind of try this in the places where we had our biggest communities internationally. The first was London and then Singapore in 2016.
So we have a website that we started in 2001. I started it. It's called headfi.org. And it was an offshoot. You know, I'm not going to get too much into the weeds, but we were actually not the original. The original was a site called Headwise, and I was one of the members on Headwise. Long story short, the Headwise kept crashing, so we started Head-Fi along with several other people, starting alternate community sites. So it's a forum. It's an online discussion forum, and so Head-Fi just grew from there. So Headwise was the original. Head-Fi then came up in 2001, and it just grew. So by community, we mean a bunch of headphone nerds like us, but in larger, growing numbers. And in 2001, it was tiny. I mean, when we first started Head-Fi, I think it was like 25 people online.
It was really the place to go if you were interested in finding out more about headphones, and you were trying to figure out what you needed, what was out there in terms of products. Head-Fi was the place to go.
And now, of course, there are a lot more websites and chat rooms and things like that. But Head-Fi has been around, for what,
25 years?
25 years. But so we've been around a long time, and so it's kind of now it's kind of become the OG gathering place, because most of the people, even the people who've been around Head-Fi for many years, might not even know about Headwise from before that. The OG was Headwise.
And one of the important things was that the products that were being talked about were being talked about by community members.
Yeah.
So they weren't paid reviews. So Head-Fi doesn't do their own reviews. The reviews that are on Head-Fi are from the community.
I used to do reviews in the early days. Yeah.
So I think it's more real, when it's coming from community members talking about products.
I have so many questions. So you gone worldwide, and you were in different countries. You arranged CanJams in different countries, different cities. Can you tell what is the main thing that unites audiophiles, or how can we say them, audiophiles, and what's the difference between the countries? There's something you noticed?
Yeah. So what unites, our community is like any other enthusiast community. that meets online, right? So I can take one of the high-end headphones from Dr.Head, one of the ones you sell many of them, almost all of them. And I can go up and down my street where I live and nobody would know what it is, right? But online, right, you can get millions of people who know what it is from all over the place. That brings people together naturally, right? Because you already know that you have an interest in something that so very few people care about around you, right? But online, we're all there. So, and then very simply, it's the love of music. Most audiophiles are deep music enthusiasts. Anything we can do to shorten the distance between our ears, our brains, our passion, and the performer, right? We want to do. And that's what I think this whole thing is to minimize the distance between us and the performance. And that's what we're all after. And then, yeah, some of us get nerdier about it than others.
This is the amazing thing about the sound, audio, and music. So can be anywhere, speaking any language, with any background, but everybody is gonna listen to. It's gonna be very, very common languages. So you said something about millions of people. How many people are? You said because you started with about 20, 25, something.
Yeah, like online at a time. So, when we first started, I remember we celebrated when there were 50 people online at once, and then 100. Now it's not unusual to have many thousands, of course, at a given moment. And it's millions of people per year.
And just touching back on your prior question, when the community, the events that we do, the CanJam shows that we do, there is a lot of similarity between the communities. The language may be different, although predominantly English, but just the passion comes through the community, and you really, it's really a community-driven event.
Yeah. Oh, and that part of the question that you asked about what's different, from place to place. I haven't figured out what Dubai's like yet, because this is our first one, CanJam Dubai. But every city that we go to has its own vibe, has something unique about it. It's kind of hard to place, right? Like, because in New York, that's one of our craziest shows. But that's also maybe one of our oldest Head-Fi communities is New York. So we have a lot of veteran members going there. I can't really.
And a lot of new people too.
A lot of new people.
Especially our New York shows, getting a lot of people new to the hobby.
But Singapore, for example, Singapore probably has the most sophisticated IEM, the in-ear monitor enthusiasts. Those guys are so serious about their IEM.
And then in some Singapore is a location where there's a lot of stores, so people members of the community in Singapore can go to different stores and hear a lot of the things that you would hear at CanJam. But they would have to go to multiple stores. They would have to go to multiple locations. CanJam brings it all under one roof, so it just makes it a kind of a celebration of the community.
So every city just has its own unique vibe. Dallas is one of the ones we added recently, and that definitely has its own vibe. Yeah.
And different preference.
And it's come to the point where we have people that travel to different shows and they meet up, groups of friends will come to CanJam, and that's kind of their vacation.
Yeah.
They plan their vacation time around CanJam.
And they'll literally follow several shows around the world. Yeah.
Do you guys affect the industry? Do they listen to you?
100%.
So the industry is, I think, especially for the companies that are so specifically serving the Head-Fi market. Because you have bigger companies that also make products, for Head-Fiers, but maybe also pro audio and other things. But they listen to the community. The community members are very influential because there's a lot in our community. There's a lot of communication on Head-Fi and with our community members and the manufacturers.
The brands, yeah.
And a lot of the engineers and product development guys at these companies will participate in the forums and talk to the community.
It's just invaluable feedback for the companies, also for the developers, for the engineers, because they're seeing everything.
Yeah.
They're able to compare other products. They're able to talk to end users of their products.
Yeah, I don't know of that many communities where the manufacturers and the community members have such a tight relationship. But to explain it, since CanJam is kind of new to you and what we're discussing, Head-Fi is the website, the forum where we all get together online. CanJam, which belongs to Head-Fi, is the living embodiment of all the things we talk about online.
I think the CanJam is the place, obviously, where people can try different headphones, players. How do you think, how important it is to listen to any piece of gear by your ear to make a choice.
There's no better way.
Yeah.
You can read so much, but especially in audio, it's very subjective. For tastes, some people like more bass, less bass. It's different. So you really only know if you try things out. It's very important.
Yeah, I mean, online. That's what HeadFi and the other now. There's other communities online now and chat rooms and things like that. These are very important for those. Yeah, even for me. Like if I don't have a chance to listen to something that's new and other people have had a chance to hear it before me. Yeah, it's great to be able to get their impressions. And then, just like anything else, you start to understand who these people are and maybe their preferences are similar to yours or opposite to yours. And then, but like Ethan said, there's no substitute for being able to listen to it yourself. Yeah. So I think going to these events is, if you can make it to one or coming to a store like Dr.Head, is critically important. Yeah.
Any example that you can say, okay, the community was talking about these changes or talking about this, and then one of these headphone manufacturers, they came and listened to them and said, okay, we listen to you, and this is as the result of the conversation that you guys had?
That question is only difficult to answer because the examples would be innumerable. So it happens a lot because the feedback from the community, again, because there's such a direct relationship between so many of the manufacturers and the community members, the feedback can often shape the products dramatically, quickly.
And you have to remember, in the grand scheme of things, it's a small community.
Yeah.
It's a very niche
Right.
kind of community.
But it's still very, very effective.
Very much
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I can see that. So your milestone one, the first one I can say, based on our conversation, was when you moved international to London.
The first
If
interview.
you want to name another major, most important milestones.
Yeah, Singapore was a huge milestone for us. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, because when we did London, that one, 2015 London was so important because we knew it was kind of make or break. If we would have had a bad show in London, we probably would have never done another international show, and maybe we would have concluded.
Singapore was really important also because a lot of relationships were established also with the Asian market, with dealers and distributors from Singapore, from other parts of Asia that came to the Singapore show, that developed relationships with the companies, and so it just kind of really developed from there.
Yeah,
A lot.
like so much came from Singapore as well.
And then after Singapore, we started looking at the Chinese market, and that was the other really big milestone for us. Was 2018. We did our first show in Shanghai.
And this is your first time in Dubai.
This is the first time in Dubai.
Yeah, for CanJam to be here, he has visited Dubai before. I have not. This is my
CanJam.
CanJam. This is our first time.
So we were approached in 2016, I think, 2016, 17, by parties in Dubai.
And this is your next milestone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, this is a big milestone actually.
For sure. I think because we don't have a traditionally large head-fi community in Dubai, so it's a milestone for sure.
Yeah, and it's kind of an adventure because we're not sure exactly what to expect. But I mean, and I'm not just saying this because we are sitting at Dr.Head, but the reality is, and and I'd say this whether we were here or not, coming to Dubai was it was driven in large part by our interactions with
100%.
Autumn and Valentina.
I think it's fair to say that once the Dr.Head store opened here, it's been about a year and a half or so. I think that kind of, helped pave the way a little bit for us to get over any sort of doubts that we had that, the market's it's being seeded and things are happening here. And I came out here a couple times. Came out here about 3 years ago, actually. And at that time, we decided, okay, maybe not quite yet. But I think once the Dr.Head store opened, we were here last summer, and then we looked at different venues, and we decided, okay, I think we're gonna give this a shot.
Yeah, we've been talking with Artem.
It's been on our radar
years.
for years. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And Artem has huge collection of headphones.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, we're looking for. I think he's doing a museum of sorts.
That collections of headphones? How many?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Approximately.
I don't know.
Many
I couldn't even begin to answer that. Yeah, because, okay, so obviously at HeadFi headquarters, a lot of gear comes through HeadFi headquarters. I mean, we often, if you were to come, like whenever we have visitors, which we have from time to time, we have to hide a lot of things because a lot of the things that we have there aren't out yet. Mm-hmm. So, and then we have just, 2001, we're talking 25 years, almost 25 years, or there's a lot of gear. Yeah, so and we actually have multiple. Our office is quite small.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot smaller than this place. And so we have like 4 storage units nearby and I wouldn't be surprised if we need more. We have archives and we catalog them.
And Head-Fi produces a preview video before each CanJam event, and so a lot of the gear that's going to be shown, especially new things, will be sent to the office for exposure.
And we still do occasional reviews too. Yeah.
Then I'm gonna join the community because I'm buying earpiece about $12, so I want to see.
Can we say that you have 2 different roles in CanJam? Maybe I assume that Jude has more of a vision and community role, and Ethan is more production and execution of things. Is it this way?
It's kind of hard to say. We work so closely together.
Yeah.
But Ethan is definitely the one who leads the charge on what the events will look and feel like. But that is driven by, again, being the living embodiment of what we.
It's very collaborative. I mean, when we started working together, I think we had the vision to make this bigger and how we could make it work.
Yeah, so you have kind of synergy.
Yeah, for sure.
If maybe it's not easy to answer, but for both of you, you want to go to your own deserted island, and you have only take one headphone.
Well, that's an easy one. As long as I have, I'm assuming I have power. I would probably take. Well, unquestionably, I'd take the Sennheiser HE1.
And I would take the Raw Manus,
Yeah.
but I'd need amplification to take along with it.
We provide you with the power. And for sure, that's amazing. I have learned lots of things. Oh my God.
Yeah. Did you notice any, big mistakes from the brands or manufacturers that attend to CanJam for the first time?
Yeah, I'll take that one. Yeah, so I think exhibiting at CanJam, and we've actually half jokingly said maybe we should do an educational seminar at CanJam to teach exhibitors how to effectively exhibit at CanJam. But I think the key thing is synergy between equipment. So if you're a headphone manufacturer, you want to let your headphone shine as best as possible. So you need a good amplifier, a good DAC, etc. And I think how to use music. So a lot of times there would be exhibitors that would have a closed system where you couldn't stream music. It was just the music that they had, and you had to choose. And if you were out of luck, if you didn't,
that's a big one.
It's a big one.
That's a big one.
And I think now most people now stream, so you can pretty much choose whatever. That's key, because when you're auditioning equipment, you have to do it on.
I need
music that you know.
Yeah, I need my own music. I need music I'm familiar with.
So that's the key, is knowing how to exhibit. And then the other thing is being effective in terms of communicating with the customers and attendees at shows. You will sometimes have exhibitors where language is sometimes a barrier if English isn't the first language, and so it's if it's hard to communicate. The exhibits that do especially well are the ones that are welcoming for people to sit down and to feel comfortable staying there and auditioning gear.
But I do think one of the important things that you mentioned is some of the exhibitors, and not as much like you said today, but it still happens.
Yeah,
would have a closed music choice, like, here, listen to this very obscure concerto that you've never ever heard before, and then judge the system. That to me isn't.
It's impossible.
And then of course signage is also a big thing.
It actually is.
So we don't. Some trade shows may do this, but we're pretty easygoing and open with our exhibitors. And sometimes exhibitors will bring very nice looking signage, and sometimes not so much. So that's also a thing. I think it's important that exhibitors we also can do signage. But I think that's a big thing, is how you present your company and your brand.
It's still a show.
It's a show.
Yeah, you still have to get their attention.
You got to do a good job in terms of how you present.
I'd like to say that didn't matter, but it does very much matter, because it's a show. You have to get their attention. Yeah. They have a lot they can listen to there, so they have to notice you. Yeah.
And where do you see CanJam in 3-5 years?
I don't know. I mean, it's like maybe I'm just not that ambitious, but like for me, we don't have the bandwidth to add that many more shows.
I think so. We have 8 shows on schedule for 2026. We were at 7 last year. We were at 6 the year before, and 8 is probably about the limit to what we can go. We're not. Yeah. We have no intention of kind of farming this out and trying to have other people do this, because it's not the same.
The gaming industry.
It's a very much a relationship, and people they know us.
It's still a niche industry.
So I think we might switch venues, we might switch cities, maybe, but I think by and large 3 to 5 years, I think it's going to look pretty similar.
Yeah, I think it will look pretty similar
to this year.
I think the main goal is to, help brand help some brands to develop. Yeah, and
Oh, yeah.
to
Definitely, and the shows have grown. I mean, I think we were growing every year, and then COVID hit. Of course, that put a damper on things, and then we kind of had to start up a little bit. But we came right back in 2023. 2022 was a little slow. 23, and we've been growing every year. So every show has grown since. Every year-on-year growth has been good.
And specifically to what you're saying, the companies do use CanJam and have for many years now as launching points.
Yeah.
Because again, it's it's still a very specific, smaller industry, and for CanJam shows, it's kind of like how big tech companies will release things at maybe CES or something like that.
Yeah.
Headphone companies and IEM companies, amp DAC companies, they will frequently time the release of their products for a specific CanJam show. We have all the time.
And after every show at HeadFi, so we have a thread for impressions of each specific CanJam show, and that's a great way to get people that aren't able to attend, but they can still read about people's impressions, the new gear, the new things that they've heard, and that's really important too. So the show kind of lives on after the actual show. It lives on HeadFi,
And maybe you can name any brands that were grown on HeadFi.
Oh,
Actually, I can. That's
easy.
on HeadFi. There are too many to name.
Too many.
Because when we started in 2001, I mean, there were so few headphone companies that we discussed, so few in-ear monitor companies that we discussed. There was like a couple of different brands of headphone amps. That was it. To answer the question, too many. But like, for example, Odyssey is a great example.
well, Odyssey and Hi-Fi Man are probably
Hi-Fi Man's another great example.
two big companies that have really grown.
Right.
I think probably mostly started,
Well, I mean,
pretty small
Well, Odyssey
when they started.
effectively started at CanJam LA 2009.
Yeah.
They just had half a table and 2 prototype headphones. And then now, if you guys pay attention to the industry, I mean, Sony Interactive Entertainment bought Odyssey. They grew a lot. Yeah, they're making a lot of headphones, and Hi-Fi Man the same.
And they branched out, from audiophile into gaming headphones into pro audio. So it's,
Yeah, we've had a very, the community's had a very close relationship with Sennheiser on the hi-fi, on the audiophile side for headphones.
Focal.
I mean, Focal effectively, they launched essentially on HeadFi when they released their headphones. We were the first to announce their Utopia and Ear. That's where that product, the Utopia and the Ear, and Focal's audiophile line, their flagship line, pretty much too many to name. Yeah, too many to name.
What is harder, to preserve the community or to grow it and attract more people?
That's a tough one. So growing it is challenging because there are now, where like you said, when we first started, HeadFi was pretty much the only game in town. Now there are just so many places where you can spend your attention and time. So growing it is a challenge, but that's not really, maybe just because I'm old. Maybe I'm not, like I said, maybe I'm just not as ambitious as I was when I was younger.
I think if you're really interested in this, you find the community because it's what your passion is. I think we experimented a little bit in trying to attract mainstream consumers to CanJam shows, and it didn't work so well because I think you can get people to walk in the door, but it's hard to get them to stay, to be really interested if it's just not something that
I mean, this is
really attached to. It's pretty niche.
This is a very enthusiast driven.
It's very enthusiast.
A market. I don't know. I guess they're both challenging, but it's a fun challenge.
Yeah.
So
I'd say probably to get newer enthusiasts would be harder. Like the enthusiasts that are they're staying, they're engaged, and once they're part of the community.
But we don't really like focus. It's not like we have these meetings where we're like growth.
There's no like.
Yeah, it's just the community is what it is, and it does grow.
Yeah.
But it's not like we.
But I think the CanJam shows have helped enlarge the community. I think as well.
Yeah.
How we can join the community?
Just go to headfi.org, and that's a great place to start.
Set up a profile and
tomorrow's CanJam Dubai. you can attend that. That's a good start. Walking around this store is a great start as well. But you're always welcome to join the community.
So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
I'm sure that there are lots of shots that my mouth is open like this. So I'm sure about that. But that was absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed talking to you.
So next year we'll interview you, and you can tell us what your favorites are.
Oh my God! Now I'm not. I think I cannot be ready, but I do my best. I do my best. But you're coming next year to Dubai for sure.
We certainly like to.
We'd like to. We'd like to.
Definitely. We're going to see you. I'm looking forward. I'm going to tell you which headphone I'm going to use.
All right, good.
That's a deal, huh?
That'd be great.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day
you.
and see you around.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have now amazing guest, a weird dude from Kansas City. That's what he wanted me to
I think it's
say.
accurate. I think it's totally accurate. It's fair.
It's not my fault, but he asked for it. So, from Bear Hi-Fi.
Hi-Fi Bear.
Hi-Fi Bear.
Hi-Fi Bear.
So, there he is.
Floor is mine.
We don't know anything about this, so
Well, they shouldn't have imported me from Kansas. I don't know anything either. I'm just a stunt double. You know, we make a weird product. We were just talking about the guest you had in here a second ago that does something different.
Yes.
And that maybe some people think what they were doing is silly or not. We got a lot of people that think what we do is silly.
Silly is good.
We make what we believe to be the world's best wireless in-ear monitors. This is the case that holds them, and it has its own computer in it and manages a lightning fast charging and some other cool stuff. But really, this is the amazing part. So this is the world's smallest and highest fidelity wireless in-ear monitor.
Can I?
Well, I don't know. It's okay to touch it.
Yeah, I can I touch?
You'll feel it's nothing. It's 3 grams. The thing you're holding is a computer, and you'll notice the computer is about the same size as the ear tip.
This is amazing.
And inside of that thing you're holding is 144 parts.
You are a weird.
Now it gets weirder. Look carefully, and you find there's a single screw. You see the screw
Yes.
going through the ceramic? If you take that one screw out, all 144 parts come out.
Screw you.
So everything is serviceable, replaceable, and upgradable forever. So as technology continues to march ahead, as it inevitably does, the chassis that is the heart of this product lives forever. So because it is the world's smallest, because it does not benefit from further size reduction, this is final form factor for computerized in-ear monitors. The only question is how much more silicon and how many more features and functions over the years can we continue to pack inside of this thing. But it's so small that when I wear it, you can't see it. In fact, and this is why my screws are loose, I can sleep in it. You can't feel it, right? And because it's fit exactly right, it will not come out of my ear under any circumstance.
Okay.
Well, that may not be the right size for you. So we size as 6 sizes of the ear tips, and we want to make sure it's the right size. But you're welcome to put it in. I just don't know if it's the right size.
you size only ear tip, not the case.
No, because the case is small enough to go into an 8-year-old little girl's ear,
Yeah.
and it'll go into a grandpa's giant elephant ear. And there's about a 6 times difference in the volume of the smallest tip to the largest tip. What you discover is that the nozzle in the earbud is the world's smallest. Because that nozzle is so small, I can put the tiniest of tip on and get this to fit in women's ears who normally cannot wear an earphone at all. And if I put a larger tip on, this is a size 5, I'm a size 5, but we've got 5s and 6s and even 7s, then it sizes it up to go into a much larger men's ear. And so when you make something that's very, very small, the benefit, of course, is that you can fit all ears. Also, you can make very small, very thin charging cases. So when you hold this up like this, you see it's only about 12 millimeters thick.
And there are beautiful piece of art.
Hi-fi industry has always made what we call audio jewelry. You look at a speaker that's been artfully sculpted and crafted. We revere the art form in the audio industry as much as we revere the music and the playback. And what was missing, I feel, has been missing in the wireless market is that people were treating wireless in-ears like toys. And I gotta tell you, you don't think twice about spending $6,000 to buy a good set of headphones, do you? No, because they're worth it.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is listen. And so it's true, our starting level product costs about $4,000. And if you get crazy and you bling it up with diamonds and gold, then they can go up to $120,000, $130,000.
Really?
Oh yeah, this one here this is solid gold. This is 18 carats.
Wow.
That's 367 grams of 18 karat white gold and 58 ideal cut Belgian diamonds. If you think about it, because all of the parts and pieces can be upgraded and replaced and the technology can continue to grow and change, then it doesn't matter. It's like buying an heirloom watch. You can use this forever. Use this for 30 years, 50 years. Now, if you can find something wrong with my form factor, if you can find an ear that it won't fit, right? If you can find a reason why the product could benefit from further size reduction, well, then an argument could be made that you shouldn't spend so much money. But already I've been producing these for 3 years. I've never had an ear I can't fit. And we've already upgraded the electronics 3 times. We're getting ready to do another upgrade. This is meant to be a product that can live forever, grow forever, change forever, and keep evolving, not something that you throw away in 2 or 3 years. So you can spend a little bit more money and feel confident that your investment is protected.
And what this guy does?
Oh, the charger? That button is telling you right now that that particular charger has 80% charge.
Oh.
If you open up the left door, for example, it will read the fuel gauge the other direction, and it will tell you how much is in that earphone.
Oh, okay.
Right? And if you open the opposite door, then the gauge will read the other direction. And you can also reset and pair and do other things. But yeah, and feel that door when it closes. That feel.
Yes.
Now look carefully inside that door. Where's the hinge? Where's the hinge pin? Where's the spring? You can't find it.
What? That's it.
I spent 6 months just designing the hinge. I spent 66,000 hours on R&D and 10 years of my life.
Oh, wow.
The idea that wireless audio isn't something that deserves the same reverence and quality as the best turntable, the best tube amplifier, or the best speaker. When I was in the hi-fi industry not so many years ago, if it wasn't a tube amp, it wasn't good. I remember that if it wasn't an analog input source, it wasn't good. Now, who doesn't have a digital streamer, right? And who doesn't realize that a great solid-state amp is just as good as a tube amp, maybe different.
Different, yeah.
In the same way that a chef prepares the ingredients differently. And maybe I like Italian and you like French. It doesn't mean that one is lesser than, it means that it's different. What we are offering is a hi-fi experience to go. So that when you're out and about, when you're going through an airport, right, when you're on the golf course, when you're working out, you have the same exact quality of sound that you would get if you were using a desktop hi-fi system and over-ear headphones. But you can't take the over-ear headphones and the desktop amp and the DAC on a golf course. You can't take it to the club. You can't take it on the airplane. So this gives you that same experience in a package that's completely portable and well with the rest of your daily life.
They were beautiful, and the size was shocking and surprising.
I'm just speechless, to be honest.
And this is the first time he's speechless, I'm telling you.
No, you want to be speechless. We're going to let you, we'll put them in your ears and let you listen. It's fine to have something that's beautiful, but imagine owning a Lamborghini that didn't go fast. That's ridiculous, right? You wouldn't buy it. So what we've tried to do is make sure that every single part of the signal path, right, is the best possible component that money can buy, and also the smallest, right? So there's kind of these are the two driving factors. How do I make things as small as is possible to be made, and how do I make them with the very, very highest quality that can be made? Mm-hmm. And that's component selection, it's the circuit design, it's the software design. Of course, it's the design of the mechanical architecture. When I told you that, you take one screw out and the whole thing comes apart, well, what does that also mean? That means there's no glue. Find any wireless earphone product in the world that is assembled as a Swiss watch. Gaskets and screws, not glue. Well, that means the pieces have to be very, very precisely made. And the tooling for a product like this, the ceramic tooling alone was $1.2 million. Just the tooling for the ceramic. Now, you can't afford to make something with this kind of tooling cost if you have to change the product every 2 or 3 years, right?
Yes.
But if you're going to run the product for 30 years, then you can spend the money to tool it and build it out of things like ceramic zirconium, which is what this is made from. And then because ceramic is so strong, trust me on this, squeeze this as hard as you want. I don't care. You cannot break it. You cannot crack it. You cannot destroy it. I don't care how big a guy you are.
I won't.
I have no fear or concern. You're holding is an $11,000 unit, and you will not hurt it. You will not break it. It lasts forever.
Want to try?
No,
You can't even scratch it. Because it's ceramic, I can take my rings. I can do this, right? You cannot scratch.
Basically, they're gonna last forever.
They last forever. Technology changes,
Of course.
but the case and the earphones last a lifetime.
Yeah, I'm amazed by the craftsmanship already.
Actually, it's piece of art.
Look at this one, for example. This is a design for a Hindu customer. And so you will see the Ganesh, you will see the Om sign, you will see the Trishula, all carved and cast into the 925 sterling silver. And we make all of the casings with lost wax jewelry casting, just like you would make a wedding ring, which gives us this flexibility. Right? We match people's tattoos, we match their cars, we match their knife collection, we match their guitars, we match anything.
How are you creating this?
Well, by hand.
By hand,
They're all handmade in Kansas City.
by you,
My wife and me.
Wow.
And we have a small team, about 5 people.
with these hands.
You can see the broken fingernails and a little dirt under them. Yes, they're made with these hands.
Can I have that one that I said?
Which one you like?
That one, the blue one, yeah.
So this is a collaboration piece. This was done with the French Impressionist painter, Kim Ahanakun. She also shows here in Dubai, by the way. And that's her signature. And what she does is she paints the painting and then cuts a piece of the canvas out and then the piece of the canvas gets incorporated into the covers. So you can buy the art and then take the art with you in your pocket.
Wow.
That's cool. And that's also.
I wish I could have knew how to do those magic things that you moving your hand and it's disappearing. Oh, sorry, in my pocket, but it is beautiful.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate that. Well, we call it a labor of love for the love of sound. You know, this is I've been doing hi-fi since 1987, and hi-fi is my life. Stereo and audio is my life. I'm a recording artist and musician, and it just felt to me like the future was in wireless and the future was in portable. And so put the time, put the effort in, build a product that can last a lifetime. And
This is okay. Yeah. I have another friend from Kansas, and he
You
was
do?
yes, he was a weird dude. What's happening in Kansas City? You know,
well, we don't have a
Kansas
lot going on there, so we have to entertain ourselves. You're really bored, you create weird stuff or tell bad jokes.
City. Actually, I told him, I said, you guys, I think you're getting bored, and that's why you guys are starting weird stuff. But amazing.
Thanks, guys.
Unique in lots of ways.
Per hour of enjoyment, the least expensive audio system you ever buy. Think about this. Why? Because, frankly, how many hours a day are you at home where you can enjoy your 2-channel audio system? 4 or 5 hours a day when you're out and about listening to hi-fi.
Yeah.
Do that 365 days a year. Do it for the next 30 years. The cost is nothing.
And I
Fair
get the picture of you, make a sticker, and put it for just 2 weeks.
On your wallet, you can carry
But
it on your
honestly,
wallet.
they are amazing.
I hope everybody takes a chance to stop by T10 Bespoke by Ear Micro and take a listen.
And most importantly, how people can order this.
We have exactly one retailer, Dr.Head.
Wow.
And you can buy from us online at T10Bespoke.com. But certainly we encourage, if you're in the Middle East, either on passing through or you're lucky enough to live in this great city, come to Dr.Head. And we're setting up a display in the store soon. It's not here yet. And you'll be able to come into Dr.Head. You'll be able to try these out. And then Dr.Head will arrange for you to consult with our team in Kansas City. We will learn about your hobbies, your tastes, your interests, and we will custom commission your piece for you. So it takes, if you buy something very, very simple, it can take 3 or 4 weeks. If you buy something very, very customized and very complex, it can take 6 months. So it just depends, on what you want to do. We have a lot of collectors that are, they own multiple units.
They can choose their material, gold, platinum,
Everything is completely customized. So
And there are no basic models, just
we do have a white one and a brown one and a black one. And to be honest, we don't sell any of them.
Yeah,
Because
you're not gonna get me the basic one.
people get to the
Fair, yeah.
website and they realize, and particularly if they've heard one, and they say, "Nah, screw it, I'm going for it."
all in.
Guys, good things about Dr. Head is that you can test and try all weird things, rare things. Come here, feel them, test them, because talking about them on TV is not helping. You have to feel them. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having
I
us.
really enjoyed that.
We
Thank you very
appreciate
much.
it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Now we are here with Martin from Warwick Acoustics, and he's one of the Dr. Head's partners.
Yep.
We are working together for a long, long time, and I have to tell you, he's the reason that everywhere is so quiet here.
I think this is my third time to this store. I first came literally 2 weeks after it opened back in November 2024. And I brought our gold, 24 karat gold Apereo system, which looks absolutely stunning in the store. And we'll be taking that obviously to the CanJam event tomorrow, because I think it's going to get a lot of attention. I first came to the store in November 24 and it had been open for like 2 weeks, and coming back now like a year and a bit later, it's amazing.
Lots of changes.
Yeah, it was amazing then, but it's even more amazing.
What is the Warwick Acoustics favorite product from your point of view?
Oh, definitely the Apereo.
Apereo.
The Apereo is not only sounds amazing, it looks stunning as well. In the gold finish that you obviously have had in store for the last year, but with me today, I landed this morning. The product I brought with me today is our Golden Sound Edition, and it's the black version of that, which has gold finish on it as well, and it looks stunning in the black and gold.
I see you brought the driver. It's quite a unique thing.
Yeah, so Warwick Acoustics is all about electrostatics. So we've been making, arguably the best electrostatic headphones in the world for the last 9 years.
Right.
We've won over 40 awards during that time.
That's amazing.
And this is one of our HPAL transducers, which is used in the both the Apereo headphone and in a slightly different form in our entry-level Bravura headphone. And also, really exciting, we have a car launching in the spring this year, which will have the world's first ever electrostatic speaker system in the car. And I can tell you, it sounds absolutely amazing.
And what car is this? If it's
We're
not a
not
secret?
allowed to
all
disclose
right.
the brand. All I can say it's a British brand, British company, and it's a pretty high-end brand. And you see cars from this brand driving around in Dubai all the time.
So, I have a question, just for fun.
Yeah.
Let's say you have to pick a pair of headphones,
Yep.
but it's not going to be your brand.
Right. Okay.
Which brand would you go?
Oh, no, that's a tough. Now, obviously, if I was sticking with an electrostat, it would have to be a Stax headphone. Simply because those guys have been doing...
Pioneers.
Yeah, they've been doing electrostatic headphones for 80 odd years, and respect for those guys. So I think if I was sticking with an E-Stat, it would be one of the top of the range Stax headphones. If I was going with something that wasn't an electrostat, I like a lot of the stuff that Focal do. Yeah, I've always admired their product, not just for the sound, but also their design. And of course, the Petite is a great headphone.
Stunning headphones, yeah.
Yeah.
They look great. What do you think? What is the most important thing when you try to choose headphones for you? What you will suggest to people that wants to choose his first, like serious headphones?
I hate having things in my ears. So I'm not an IEM guy. Everything we do is over ear. Now, to me, the most important thing with a headphone is comfort, because it doesn't matter how good the headphone sounds, if you're not comfortable wearing it, you're going to want to take it off. So getting the comfort right, to me, as important as getting the sound right. Obviously, once you've got the comfort right, it's all about the sound. But it's no good getting the sound right if the comfort isn't there, because you would just want to take it off, and the whole point is you want to leave it on and listen as long as you can. And we have customers who write to me on email and say, I can listen to your headphone for hours on end, whereas I have other headphones in my collection, because a lot of people that buy our products have not just one or two, but like 10, 15, 20 other sets of headphones. And I always say that, what they love about ours is it's very lightweight, it's very comfortable, and they can listen without with low listening fatigue. So to me, that's important.
This is why it's important to test them. Test any
absolutely.
Headphones, no matter if it's overhead or in-ear. In-ear especially, I think.
And I tell you for now, when we made our first headphone 9 years ago, which was the Sonoma Model 1, the hardest thing to get right was the comfort and the fit. And we replaced that headphone with the Bravura, and we made that replacement because the Bravura was way more comfortable than the Sonoma Model 1. And if we had one comment from our early day customers, it was, sounds great, but the Sonoma Model 1 is a little bit clampy. I need a bit more comfort, and that's what we implemented when we bought the Bravura and the Apereo out.
Yeah, I got it. I have a question. It's not for getting compliment from you, but so in Dr.Head, our main goal is to give everyone the opportunity to test anything they want.
Yep.
Are there any other stores like this? Have you ever seen? Because
no, to be honest, and again, I'm not just blowing smoke, as they say, because I'm here at Dr.Head. For example, this is the only store that I know that has an HE1 and a gold Apereo. The only store. And, you know, I spend a lot of my time traveling the world, going to different shows, visiting different dealer stores, and you guys have got it right here. You really have. And I'm not just saying that, it's stunning.
Yeah, yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, we think that's the main part of choosing any kind of audio system or its headphones to try it yourself, because you can't read reviews and make a choice. You have to try it.
And honestly, that's the biggest problem we have as a brand selling a really high-end product.
Right.
So, you know, the Apereo is a $50,000 product. It's finding dealers that will have one in their store so people can go and listen. Because many dealers just can't afford to carry demonstrate systems that are that kind of price.
Yeah.
So the challenge that we always have in our business with the Apereo especially is getting it onto people's ears and getting them to listen to it, which is why the CanJam events are so important to us, because people can come to that event and they can really listen to all of the products under kind of one roof. Even products that are so exclusive, maybe you don't get them at every store, but you guys, like I said, you pretty much have everything here.
Yeah, thank you. And this is not the first CanJam for you, right?
We started making headphones 9 years ago, and we've been doing CanJam events pretty much ever since then. So yeah, I do probably 6 CanJam shows every year, and I've done for about the last 8 or 9 years. So this is probably, without counting them up, this is probably like my 50th CanJam.
50. Oh.
So guys, I have to tell you, we have their headphones here available. You're not gonna believe it. You have to, I cannot explain it, I cannot tell you. You just have to come, test them, listen to the music, and then you're gonna be, wow. Because the first time, I have to tell you honestly, sorry, I said, why 50,000, 60,000 US dollar? Then I put them on, and then I was, oh my God, I need some money. They are amazing. And at Dr.Head, they are available. Everybody can walk in, test them, listen to the music, and this is the good thing. This is our philosophy and also their philosophy to let people test them and hear them. So, anything else, Patrick?
No, I'm just looking forward to the weekend. Thank you guys for kind of hosting it. It's absolutely great. Good luck with the store, 'cause it really is fabulous.
Thank you.
It's going to be amazing.
Definitely.
It's a game changer.
Thanks for coming. And hopefully we're going to see you more and more and more. And looking forward to see you next time.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We have Tony from Fostex, and he is making amazing headphones and speakers.
Tony,
Yeah.
thank you for coming here. Thank you for taking part of this. Any new products about Fostex you're seeing in the future?
Yeah, so like this year we launched like lots of headphones and also speakers. So we brought here, and for the show tomorrow, I'm really excited to introduce such headphones to the CanJam. And this is my first time in Dubai. Thanks. So I'm excited to be here.
But it's not your first time on CanJam, right?
I go to US and
Yeah.
Hong Kong, Asia.
Yeah.
It's my first time in Dubai.
Can you tell us what makes the Fostex headphones special?
Well, we have like a long history, over 50 years old. We're still making the transducers by ourselves from the material point, and we do control the quality at own factories. And we do a special material wise, so we control every process we do.
All right.
Yeah. And we do both the planar drivers and the dynamic drivers. So for dynamic drivers, we do it's called a biodyna drivers. It's a special kind of materials we use, and that makes a first dynamic response. And then our TH900 series is kind of iconic
Yeah, it's really
headphones to show our history.
history and possibilities. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you can choose one product from Fostex, what is your favorite?
Oh, I would say like a TH910 series. That's a new one. That's a successor model of a TH900. So this is our first introduction in Dubai. So I'm really looking forward to
Yeah, great.
seeing the people reactions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be wow. It's
Yeah, should be wow.
yeah, no other options.
Yeah.
What is the most important thing for people to choose headphones? What they have to look at to choose the perfect headphone for them?
Well, yeah, people say like the sound is subjective, so everybody different sound, and then it's up to the people, countries.
Music preferences.
I'm not like a force people which one is the best. The important thing is that we as a Fostex, we do keep our policy and mission visions. That's our important things. So as long as we keep that one, like in the end, people like it. That's so.
Yeah. And there are a lot of reviews, a lot of articles about headphones, not only about Fostex, any headphones. How do you think the listening part, if you're able to listen, how important it is? Test headphones by yourself.
But it's really up to people. But we really listen to the voice from the market, and we take into our engineering teams.
What about speakers, studio monitors?
Yeah, it's also long history. So we have two kinds. Two segment. One is for studio monitors. We still shipping like near field studio monitors, speakers for broadcasting studios.
Yeah.
And the music studios, and also we also make speaker drivers, speaker units for listening speakers. In Japan, it's mostly used for DIY. The people buy from our speaker drivers.
Just drivers. Yeah.
They build a cabinet by themselves
Yeah.
and assemble that kind of
Yeah.
market.
I don't remember the name of the model. The two small speakers they sell with pair, really small, like 3-inch maybe. I've heard them and I was like, wow, how these small speakers can sound so huge. I don't remember the model, but they're really impressive, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe something you want to tell about Fostex, except of what making it unique. Maybe something you want to tell us about the brand.
Yeah, so for the speakers, we have a very special shape of drivers.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Looks yellow, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shape really come from our, pretty much engineering works. That's our kind of iconic drivers.
Shape, yeah. And what's the purpose of this shape? Low distortion, maybe?
Yeah, of course, the driver itself should be rigid and light.
Yeah.
And less distortion. In order to pursue that three portions that came up with that design.
This is the question I'm asking everyone. Let's say you want to have a pair of headphones and speakers for home, for example, or anywhere, but you cannot choose your own brand. Which headphones from which brand and which speakers from which brand would you choose? Not easy, huh?
I'm gonna take a final.
Final. Okay. Is there any kind of music that Fostex headphones work really well with?
Oh, I don't think we choose what kind of music. When we test it, we use all kinds of music.
All kind of music.
Jazz, rock, hip hop, classic, all the things.
So you're kind of universal headphones.
Right.
You can pick them if you listen any genre.
Yeah, right.
What was the last song you listened? Do you listen music? Because a lot of people from this audio industry, they like the best music is silence because they're listening too much and sometimes get tired of. You're still interested in music?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure. But I forgot the last song. Sorry about that.
Thank you very much. Again, welcome to Dubai. Hopefully you're going to have a good time and see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
So, what are you guys making?
Custom in-ear monitors is what we started with. Probably 2010 when I started putting together CIMs at that time. And that time it was mostly a hobby more than anything. And then that turned into an obsession. It's a huge challenge to try to make a perfect CIM because it's all hand. And it's much like some people zen out by doing puzzles, or they do a boat in a bottle. And building CIMs was something that I just found to be just a very soothing activity. Loved it.
Oh, definitely.
So we went from CIMs. During that time period, the CIMs that we were building, or I was building, was mostly for commercial, or I guess you'd say for fellow hobbyists, for people that actually didn't play the guitar. Probably didn't have much of a musician type background, but they love good sound. And our focus was to build something that looked as good as it sounded, and sound as good as it looked. That's what we tried to do. At that time period, the options weren't many. What they were building was for musicians, and I thought it was odd because during that time period, the CIMs being built were flesh tone. And basically the idea was to hide it. They didn't want people to see it. A couple of things about that. One, when I was a kid and growing up, I worked construction. And the guys out there at the job site, they would paint their hammers special colors. For one, they wanted to know it was their hammer right away. And two, they were actually proud of what they do, right? So they wanted to be loud and proud. This is my hammer. It could be even a skill saw. It doesn't matter. They wanted something customized for them. So they would customize their own tools. And I felt that a CIM, same principle. It's a tool that you use to be able to be a musician, to be a star. That's something you should be proud of. Part two of the equation was they're crazy expensive. At that time period, like a set would run you $1,000 to $1,500. And I thought, if I brought home something that cost $1,500 and looked like some chewed up bubble gum, my wife would go nuts. So I thought this thing better look like a piece of jewelry, right? I was thinking, be able to show my wife and say, hey, this is, and for her to say, wow, that obviously took a whole lot of time to build. I wanted people to be proud to own it, proud to show it, proud to wear it, that type of thing. So that was kind of the driving force or the goal sets that I had.
You didn't have that kind of approach that.
No, at that time period, it was not going on. But I was pretty poor, and I didn't have a laser machine, couldn't buy one at that time period. Now they're pretty easy to get your hands on, but at that time period, couldn't find one affordable by that part. And I was doing this all in Thailand. And Thailand has some beautiful woods, rosewood specifically. And I'd go to the night market and I'd buy these salad spoons made out of rosewood, and then I'd sand them flat. And that's what I would use to build a faceplate out of. And I would take that and make it all beautiful as much as possible. And then I would take photos of it and post it on headfi.org, which probably still to this day is the largest portable head community, if you will, online community for portable audio gear. And I would post it on that, and over time I got a fan base, you could say. And I don't know if anybody understands where the moniker Wizard came from, but it actually came from Head-Fi. I was given the name Wizard because one dude basically accused me of working for a CIM company because he thought I was like being a shill or a sock puppet or whatever you call them.
Really?
And he said, what CIM company do you work for? And I didn't even know what he was talking about. And another Head-Fi member posted, and he said, oh, this is John, Dr. John. He's been practicing his wizardry for a long time now on Head-Fi. And that's where the whole thing came from. And I said, well, if they're going to call me Wizard, then I'll just run with it. And so that's where the whole Wizard moniker came from, was from Head-Fi member in the first place. Over time, people would ask me, if you ever go commercial, would you please build for me? And so I kind of had a built-in fan base, if you will, over time. And when I went commercial, we had sales immediately, and we just took off. Yeah, it's been a fun ride, And during that ride, we've had more and more companies come in, in 1964. West Home was already there. came along as well during that time period. Jerry was already in existence with UE, but he sold to Logitech, and then I think it was contractually he had to stay out for 2 years. And right when I was getting in, Jerry jumped back in, and I came out with T10. I was the first company to build a double-digit IEM at that time period, or CIM at that time period. And so, 10 drivers, that had never been done before, and it just took off. It just like kaboom. And then Jerry came out with the Roxanne, which had 16 drivers, and so it was a fun time. It still is fun.
Yeah, some kind of challenge.
Yeah, speaking of fun, but that's my first step when I consider any new project. I just ask, is it fun? Okay. First thing, it's got to be fun. Then the second thing is the math right. If the math is good, okay, we can move forward on it.
Which is good.
Yeah, that's been the ride so far. It's been fantastic,
When or what or was your milestone, the most important milestone?
Oh, there's been so many, it's hard to say. But how it kind of all began is my wife at that time, she stepped out of the car and she was wearing this, it's kind of hard to describe, but you'll know it as soon as I start talking about it. I think Jabra was making them. Well, it was a one ear. It was a Bluetooth device for talking on the phone.
Motorola thing that time.
Exactly. And they had a dynamic driver in that thing. And like I said, I was working, her mother owned this, I don't know, maybe I didn't say it, but her mother owned this hearing aid distribution company in Thailand. So we had a hearing aid lab. So anyhow, she steps out of the car, her Bluetooth drops to the ground, and I accidentally stepped on it. And she was not happy. And I thought, well, I could fix this, right? So I went into the lab and we made a custom ear mold, right? And I stuffed a hearing aid driver, which was a balanced armature driver. It's just a simple one, into it. And then we took the earpiece itself and then glued it onto it. So now it would lock into her ear and it's not going to fall out. And I was like, that process was so fun, and especially the whole hand pouring and making an ear mold and all of that stuff. So that was step one, and I thought that's pretty fun. And I had I think it was called the Shure E3 that I had purchased for $99. And I thought that was crazy expensive, but it didn't fit well and it hurt. So it ended up in a drawer. So after I had built that thing for her, I thought, oh, maybe I could build a CIM. So I took those Shure E3s and I cut it open and pulled out the internal, which just happened to be one BA. And I looked at it and I thought, that's it? And then I thought, I can do better than that. So my first CIM, if you will, was basically a Shure E3 reshell.
Yeah.
Right. So I put it all together, and then it was like the challenge now was to make something better and more advanced and more complicated, and it just kept growing. I say Noble is nothing but a series of good accidents, really. Stepping on her earpiece, I broke it. Even that job I got with hearing aid company was essentially an accident. It's nothing but a series of good accidents, really.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's an amazing story. If someone is watching and doesn't know what Noble is, can you describe Noble Audio with one sentence, maybe?
Wow.
2 or 3 is okay.
2 or 3, okay.
An obsession for quality.
An obsession for quality.
That's in everything from packaging to product, to product experience to sound.
If you have to choose one piece of gear from Noble Audio, can you? If you can.
It's like saying which child is your most favorite, right? So, but I could say that I really am the Noble Prestige Encore right now.
The new one, yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful product inside and out. Sound quality's there. I mean, it delivers quite a lot of satisfaction. Obviously, we have some great bang for the dollar type products as well, the Noble Knight, things like that. But this is going to sound very preachy, but for me, if I have a artist that I totally respect, revere, and one of them is Prince. But if I listen to him with some gear that is not really optimized, is really not sounding that great, to me that's disrespectful, right? To this guy that put his life into this. And so I always try to remember that, respect them, and listen to their music with the best stuff that I can, And it's, of course, not everybody can afford, $500 product or whatnot. And I don't think somebody should forego dinner over a good hearing device, right? But that's just me. I try to respect who I revere by what I listen to them with.
If you want to pick a gear other than your brand, you're not going to pick your brand.
Go ahead.
Which brand?
See,
Which one?
and again, it goes back to respect too. Does it have to be one, or can I mention two?
Okay, mention two, sure.
Okay. Etymonic Research, the ER4P. That guy, his name was Dr. Mead Killian. He had 2 PhDs that I'm aware of. One was in engineering and one was in audiology, where I come from. He had written well over than 20 textbooks. And when I was in college, I actually had his textbooks. Mm-hmm. And so out of respect for him, I have to mention him. He died just probably a year ago. I think he was 89 or so, maybe 90. But never met the man, but I had to read his textbooks, and this guy, he's so smart. So that was the R4P. And most anybody that follows this hobby, they know that product right off the bat. Mm-hmm. Another one, Jerry Harvey's JH13. When I heard that one first time, I thought, oh my goodness, this is where sound can be, that kind of reaction for his JH13. And again, respect. Without Mead, where would we be here? I don't know. But without Jerry, I don't think so. Not this industry. Yeah.
Wow.
He was very instrumental. And I don't know I met the guy only one time, and it was definitely a memorable experience. I was floored by how humble he is, Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right.
Are you working on something new?
Always.
Okay.
Oh, for sure.
Anything you want to share with us? Or not yet?
Stay tuned,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
People that are watching this, please stay tuned. We're going to be the first one to let you know about that. How about that? Yeah. So good to know. Anything else?
I would just, I have to, again, show respect. Dr.Head's group here is just amazing. Not only were you good then, but you're still progressing. You see what I mean?
Right, yeah.
You just don't rest on your laurels. It's, we have this much floor space, let's dedicate it to this, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Always shifting, always growing. Very impressive.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm personally enjoying sitting and talking to you, but thanks for your time. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you
that
both.
Was amazing.
And thank you, the crew. Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Okay, guys, now we have Peter Rodriguez, owner and founder of Heritage Audio.
Nice to meet you. Nice to be here. Heritage was founded in 2011. For the previous 15 years, I was mostly a producer, engineer, and musician based in Spain. I did a lot of major label work there. And by 2007, 8, 9, I began to think about what was my next step in music and in audio, because audio was a very, very I was really passionate about, so I decided to go the other side of the glass in the studio and began designing the gear that I hoped I had the ability to put my hands on as an engineer and as a producer. And that's how Heritage Audio started officially as a company in 2011. although for the previous years I was already working on it. So it's been actually 2026 is our 15th anniversary. We will be doing a bit of bells and whistles about
Then we're
this
gonna be there
celebration,
too, huh?
and of course you will be part of that. So pretty happy, pretty amazing with all the work over these years. We released last December our 73rd product in 15 years, so it's been a long ride.
Yeah, cool. That's cool. And the main concept, what drives you to make this gear? You wanted to own one, or do you want to give other musicians some opportunities? Or
Well, actually, it's pretty curious. It's the same thing with other audio-related stuff, where it seems like there were golden years, like many years ago, where audio was sounding incredibly great, no matter how technology evolved, and all this vintage equipment that was pretty in demand in the studio was getting scarce, very expensive, and sometimes not the most convenient for the recording workflows, modern recording workflows. So I decided to keep that great sound, that philosophy of the great sound of the golden era of the studios of the 60s, 70s, 80s, bring it here, so the modern producers, musicians, and engineers could benefit from that great sound without all the hassle and pain of having to maintain the old unit,
yeah,
or having to stick to an old-fashioned way of working. So we mixed both concepts together, the great sound and the great features that makes the modern recording workflow, and it's been doing great.
yeah. You say that 60s and 70s were the golden era. So this is the really wide
That's an opinion.
Yeah. No, a lot of people say this.
Yeah.
So we have modern products, which are technically more advanced and had better technical specifications. But why everybody is running to this vintage stuff? Why everybody likes it?
That's a pretty cool question, and it's something that I've thought a lot, because other brands, other people just stick to getting the same exact designs as back in the day, without thinking what you just mentioned. What makes that special? Because you don't have to copy something old with the goods and the bads. You just have to extract the juice of what make that special. And in my opinion, and after doing a lot of research, there was a lot of limitations back in the day. Like it was distortion, which obviously was unintended. It was just the limitations of the time. Distortion, noise, color, character. So everything that was recorded back then sounded a little bit different than what the performer was sounding back in the room or the instrument. And that was being used in a very creative way by the musicians and the producers and everybody involved in the recordings at that time. So we tried to extract that, what makes that gear special, and try to adapt it, bringing back the hassle and the pain, which is not what makes that equipment special. So that made all those guys to be really creative, because of the limitations. It's just, you see the Beatles, and it was a 4-track machine, so they had to be really creative in choosing and doing stuff. It's not like nowadays you have Pro Tools with unlimited tracks and you become recording, and suddenly you realize you just record a lot of crap that you're not going to use, and it doesn't mean anything. Limitations sometimes bring creativity. That's what we're extract from those golden days.
Did you have a device or a sound or a music in your head that you wanted to mimic or reach to that when you started? Say, I love this, I want this.
There's actually, that's pretty much what I really said before, if you listen to those records and you have experience as a musician, real life doesn't sound like that
At all.
it's different. You play drums on this room, and it's not gonna sound like a Beatles record. It's gonna, the Beatles it's everything sounds huge. Everything is, it's like the difference in between a painting and a picture, where you can sculpt the reality through the equipment and make it sound way better than what it was through the performance. And it works backwards as well. You can, through the equipment, you can make the performer performing in a different way, because he's actually listening himself while singing, and he's singing with all these artifacts and this distortion and this compression, and then he changes the way he's performing. It's pretty interesting. Through a clean sound, totally transparent, totally perfect, which is something which is very easy to do nowadays. Everything is cold. Like, there's nothing, is a bit emotional. Obviously, sometimes that's what you really want, but not always.
Yeah, certain genres. Nowadays, we're looking back to the 60s, 70s and trying to, saturate everything, put some distortion on everything to sound brighter or something. But back in the days, they tried to avoid these noises, distortion, and everything. Is this the sound that our ear likes better than sterile cold sound?
So soon it's gonna be 15 years. A few months, you said, yeah?
Yeah.
If you want to name one milestone, one particular device, step, stage, whatever, what's that?
Well, I could name several. Actually, at the very beginning, 15 years ago, there was a few more gaps in the industry. There were not so many products as they are now. So the most important milestone was our first product that was introduced in Music Messe, Frankfurt, February 2012. We went there. We had no money. We couldn't buy flight tickets from Spain to Frankfurt, so we drove like for almost 1 day straight on. We introduced the product. Everybody was so excited about it. We got all, well, not all, but most of the most important distributors that are distributing our gear still nowadays. So that put us in the map. It was a row of Tech Award nominations, but it's been a gradual growth, which has been a very, very cool ride, to be honest.
So you said that now there are lots of choices.
Yeah.
Let's say you want to equip a studio, but you're not allowed to use your own equipment.
Yeah.
Which brand would you go?
Let's say audio interface.
If I couldn't use mine, well, actually, the main interface that I use myself in the studio, I'm basically a guitar player, but I play drums and I play keyboards and all that stuff. So I use an Avid Carbon, which is always hooked up to record the drums. Because I use Pro Tools. I've been using Pro Tools since 1996. It works pretty well with Pro Tools. Carbon integration is pretty cool, and it's an amazing piece of gear, to be honest. The whole system.
And maybe you have a lot of outboard gear, right?
All Heritage connected.
All Heritage, yeah, sure. No, it's not about that.
It's like my children.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the whole process of designing them, when you make the design choices, you want to use them.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
It's not like, well, I have to use them because they're mine, but I would use this, I would use this. No, it's what you want to do. It's what makes. I focus my creativity onto making the products I would like to use and I would like people to use. So I end up using them all the time.
Do you have any favorite piece of gear from Heritage Audio?
Well, I have several. The monitor controllers, any of them, because they're based on the same workflow. I use a RAM 5000 because it's really convenient for my setup. But any of those, I think they all cover, makes your life way easier in the studio with several pair of monitors, with several inputs, quick and easy communication with the talent. That's one of them. And some others, I'm partial to that because in some cases, in some products, the design process was so exciting and so challenging and so great at the same time that makes me partial to the result. I love the Hertel. It's always when I'm recording bass, it's always there.
Okay, Peter, thank you very much. Hopefully, we see you many more years with lots of more milestones.
As long as I can.
Of course. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here we are again at Dr.Head podcast studio at the Dr.Head store in Dubai. We have special guest Satoshi from Final. Thank you for coming here.
Final is basically, of course, the Japanese brand, and then focusing on to that headphone and the earphone, the portable audio products. The last 10 years, I guess. Then more for natural and then smooth, then sound reproduction, not like the exaggeration. And then we produce the sound with the more like objective sound, point of view. We pretty much the academic approach for that creating a more like immersive and then also that very much natural sound reproduction. Very then according to that original sound reproduction. That is the very uniqueness of the Final. That's what I believe.
That's what makes Final unique.
Yes. So today I have the new product here. I want to show you.
Yeah.
Of course, we love to see that for sure.
This is our new flagship of the overhead headphone. This is the prototype. We have already like open back type.
Yeah.
The headphone from the top end like DA1000, DA1000 DC Pro, which is also the very much then well accepted and then have a very good reputation with our unique solution. Even with the open back, so that we have a rich bass, the very then wide range of the sound stage. So we try to create the closed back, where however, so that the very different from the product existing in the market already. So that we utilize the very unique solution with this as well. So having the diaphragm, then they create the very unique again the sound stage, which is coming this year's first quarter. Then we definitely believe this is also very much one of the special product this year.
Yeah.
So as you can see, that the design is also awesome.
Yeah.
They're very matching with this region actually. So you can put it into that your go-to souk market.
Yeah. I believe Dubai is the right place for this.
I think so.
When you're gonna start the production line?
Start from the end of March, so that you can get it the beginning of the April already.
And do you have any idea how much would be the user's price? Yes. You don't know?
Priceless.
Of course.
Yeah, very expensive, I guess. Actually, this is a collector's edition, the color finish.
Yeah.
So normal version is having the silver-ish finish. Still, that this is very much variable design. But this is the limited version with a gold finish. This is really suitable for your market, definitely.
So is this gonna be your choice if you have to choose one final product?
It's quite difficult to choose one, huh?
Okay.
As I said.
I won't ask this question anymore.
Well, one more. This is
Wireless, yeah.
This is a new wireless stuff, which is our new flagship, the True Wireless IM. It looks like the normal wireless earphones. But similar, as you see usually, like the Bose and the Sony.
Yeah.
No, nothing so much different. But what is unique is that, of course, we apply that our sound philosophy for this product. I don't know if you guys remember last year, we tried to make the kind of personalization personalization for the tone. I mean the timbre. So there are some the approach from the Sony and the other manufacturer for the personalization for that three-dimensional then how can I perception of the sound.
Yeah.
So for 360 from the Sony, but this is more for that personalization for that timbre. So especially for that the customer to listen to sound with the high quality, timbre is really important. Not like the dimensional thing. Not just only from dimensional. How the timbre or tone is really similar to the actual physical sound. It's quite important for the customer to enjoy and to be relaxed for that long-lasting listening. So we try to make the tonality to really matching with the the natural sound. But in order for us to do that, we found it's really important for that the sound to be personalized for the customer. That because normally, so that the people listening to sound in a kind of natural world, so listening to sound from outside of the body, the sounds come from the outside the body.
Yeah.
The sound is being interrupted with the shape of the body, and the shape of the ears, and the shape of the ear inside of the canal. Eventually, so that the sound comes to the eardrum. This sound wave, eventually because of the interfere from the shape of the body, the final shape, the signal is different by people, right?
Yeah.
Depend on the people, so that the final the shape of the curve of the sound is completely different. The human beings really smart enough, so that adjusted by the brain, or that this then sound.
Yeah.
But you guys from the bone to the now, then subconsciously adjust this sound shape. But in case of the headphone, the earphone, the sound is completely different because the sound directly come from this here.
Without
No interference of the we have made lots of the R&D process to find out what is the best way to really listen to the sound of the outside body naturally, that the output from the very close to the eardrum. We eventually calculate those methodology. Then we came up the solution with this product. So by using the smartphone, the camera, so that you can capture that your head
type, yeah.
head type and ear type. Then we are using the very much complicated calculation to personalize that the sound, then how can a signal. Although sound comes from the this just direct to the eardrum, but sound is somehow like the naturally come from the outside body.
Interesting.
So this is the one which is coming
This is
very soon, completely different, like no others.
sounds like that. It seems like wow.
Sounds like
I-
science.
It is academic approach for sure. I love to try them. When they gotta be available then?
In Japan already available, and we start from the crowdfunding. We also try to do the different way for the approach to the customer. But this is the coming already, so that already available in the beginning of the February already.
Let's say that you have to use headphone, but you cannot use your brand. You have to use another brand. Which headphone or brand would you pick?
I need to think about which brand is the most interesting now. Final.
Final, only final. You're cheating.
Yeah, that's no, we didn't.
It's quite difficult, because I was thinking, as from customer viewpoint, I really want to be natural, very flat,
Not final.
not final. But eventually, so that even I forgot about my vinyl, I want to choose vinyl.
All right.
Okay then.
You skip this question.
We skip this question, but because we told everyone you cannot choose your brand, and they picked other brands. That wasn't easy, so they're not gonna be happy that we let you choose your own brand. Okay, thank you very much. So thanks for your time. We're so happy to have you here, and hopefully we see you next year as well.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to this one, and looking forward to get one of those ones. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.